We've all heard the saying, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, but have you ever stopped to wonder what happens when the pursuit of something noble blinds us to the consequences of our actions? What if, in the pursuit of justice, we compromise our integrity? What if, in trying to make the world a better place, we end up justifying corruption because we believe the ends justify the means? This is what we call noble cause corruption. As a wise man once said, he who fights with monsters should be careful lest he thereby become a monster. Noble cause corruption occurs when the desire to do good leads individuals to adapt unethical practices, believing that the ultimate goal makes these means acceptable. But just like the wise man's warning, the danger lies in becoming the very thing we set out to fight. Today I want to talk to you about how even the best intentions can sometimes lead us astray. Noble cause corruption, the idea that achieving a good cause justifies unethical behaviour, is a trap that has ensnared so many well-intentioned people, from law enforcement to political leaders to everyday individuals who find themselves in a position where they must choose between ethics and a desired outcome. Let's explore how this happens and how we can prevent it. Think about your own life. Are there moments where you've been tempted to cut a corner because you felt justified in doing so? Maybe it was to achieve a personal or professional goal, or maybe it was to help someone else. But what happens when that small compromise becomes a pattern, and what does it cost us both personally and as a society? Noble cause corruption occurs when individuals believing they are working towards a good, noble cause take shortcuts or engage in unethical behaviour, convincing themselves that the end result justifies their actions. This might include falsifying evidence to convict a criminal, bending the rules to pass a policy, or overlooking a small mistake for the sake of efficiency. At its core is the belief that the importance of the cause outweighs the methods used to achieve it. And while the cause may be virtuous, the moment we sacrifice our integrity to achieve it, we tarnish the process and our ability to achieve real lasting change. It's a slippery slope, and once we start compromising on our values, it becomes harder to stop. Imagine a police officer who in the heat of the moment plants evidence to convict a criminal they believe is guilty. They think this person deserves to be punished, and this is the only way to make sure justice is served. In this instant, the officer believes the end result, ensuring the criminal is caught, is more important than how they achieve it. However, in doing so, they've crossed an ethical line and are contributing to the very system they swore to uphold. Or think about a politician who pushes forward a policy they believe will benefit society, but in doing so they manipulate facts or deceive the public about its potential impacts. They think the policy will improve the lives in the long run, so the small lies I tell don't matter. But the corruption doesn't just exist in the deception, it lies in the justification of unethical behaviour for the sake of an outcome. Many have found themselves trapped by noble cause corruption, but some have also managed to escape it. Consider the story of whistleblower Frank Serpico, a New York police officer who exposed widespread corruption in the police force. Serpico could have easily turned a blind eye, justifying the small unethical actions he saw around him as part of the system, but instead he chose to take a stand for what was right, refusing to allow his sense of justice to become corrupted by the system itself. The danger in noble cause corruption is that it creates a toxic cycle. Think about Julian Assange. The story embodies an ethical grey area of noble cause corruption. While his supporters hail him as a free speech hero, critics argue his methods recklessly jeopardise security and individual safety. Edward Snowden, the former NSA contractor turned whistleblower, exposed the US government's mass surveillance program. Snowden's actions ignited a global debate on surveillance, privacy and government overreach, but they also raised the question about ethics of exposing state secrets. Lance Armstrong, once a cycling hero and cancer survivor. Lance Armstrong built an empire of inspiration, but behind the scenes, he was doping to stay on top. Armstrong's story underscores how noble cause corruption isn't confined to politics. It can occur in personal quests for inspiration. The danger of noble cause corruption is that it creates a toxic cycle. Once you justify unethical behavior, it becomes easier to repeat. The more we bend the rules, the more the boundaries of right and wrong blur, and what starts as a small lie to protect the greater good ends up creating a culture of dishonesty, where the good we're trying to accomplish becomes irrelevant in the face of our personal compromises. The reality is, if we sacrifice our values for a perceived greater good, we weaken the foundation of our society and our personal integrity. Integrity isn't just about doing the right thing when it's easy. It's about maintaining our ethics even when the road to achieving our goals seems impossible. Action steps 1, stay grounded in values. Every time you face a decision where the temptation to justify unethical actions arises, ask yourself, am I staying true to my values? Am I willing to sacrifice my integrity for this outcome? 2, seek accountability. Surround yourself with people who will hold you accountable. It's easy to get lost in the allure of noble cause, but having others to check your actions can keep you on the right path. 3, ask the right questions. When pursuing a noble cause, ask yourself, am I sacrificing long-term ethical principles for short-term gains? The bigger picture will always require staying true to who we are. 4, reflect on consequences. Before taking any action, consider not just the immediate outcome, but the long-term consequences of your choices on others and yourself. Here's some free advice. Remember, integrity isn't about doing what's right. It's about staying consistent in our actions. If you find yourself justifying unethical behavior, stop and reflect. True progress, whether personal or societal, can never be built on a foundation of corruption. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it to stand by what's right, even if the road is harder. You have the power to make a difference, and you can do so without sacrificing your values. Don't let the pressures of the moment convince you that bending the rules is acceptable. Your actions matter, and even in the face of difficulty, staying true to your ethics will always lead you to greater success in the world. We are all part of the bigger picture. Each decision we make, no matter how small, shapes the world we live in. Let's choose to lead with integrity, even when the path seems difficult. By doing so, we can create a world where noble causes are pursued through honest means and where our ethics stand as strong as our dreams. Today we've explored the concept of noble cause corruption, how even the best intentions could lead to unethical behavior if we justify the means by the end. We've learned that integrity must remain at the forefront, no matter how noble the cause may seem. I challenge you today to commit to making ethical decisions in the pursuit of your goals. Choose integrity over shortcuts, honesty over deceptions, and ethics over justification. The world needs your vision, your leadership, and your commitment to what's right. Let's build a future that's not only successful but ethical, one where noble causes are pursued with unwavering integrity. Stay true to yourself and the world will follow your example, because you're perfect just as you are.